What's up, the manifest movement? Today, we are going to talk about why your manifestation is not happening. Like you're doing everything. You're meditating, you're journaling, you're practicing your gratitudes, you're saying your affirmations. You might be doing mirror work. You have read all the books. You're listening to the podcast. You're listening to me on repeat. You're doing the game. You're doing fact. All of these things that I've, shown you on Instagram. And still, it is not happening for you. And you are starting to lose hope. You're starting to doubt. The doubt is creeping in. So today we're going to talk about that. But first up, I just want to give a little bit of background of what's happened in the last week. I think it's really good to keep you up to date. So I made a decision in January. Well, actually, I made it in December because I tend to do things before the new year, that I was going to focus this year on my health and fitness, right? This was going to be the year. Now, I was stayed consistent with working out. I've been working out at least 3-4 times a week. My diet hasn't been perfect, and I'm trying to get that back better for sure. And I made a decision that I was going to do a fitness competition in 2026. And I was thinking maybe I'll do it in like Q3 or Q4, between September and December. And the reason, well, Q4 actually, so September to December. The reason why I chose that was like, I need time. I need time to up my fitness levels. I don't want to go out there and just not be able to do it and look like an idiot or whatever. And then I was asked, so I was going to the gym, being consistent, getting my ass out of bed, like the Mel Robbins tip of like being in bed and saying 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you just have to get out of bed. What I do is I just do not even allow myself to think. When the alarm goes off, I actually have a Fitbit, so it goes off on my hand. I just get out of bed. If you even think for a moment, I'm just going to snooze for 7 minutes or 8 minutes, you're going back to bed. So you just have to make that decision. Ass out of bed and go. Like you cannot think, because if you start to think, it's over. Game over. So then I was asked to do the battle of cancer with my friends, and I was like, oh, I'm not so sure I'm going to be able for this, right? And so I did it. And I realized that a lot of the time we put things off until we're ready. Oh, I'll sign up to X when I'm ready, or I'll do Y when I'm ready, or I'll start the business when I'm ready, when the kids go back to school and I have a bit more time. And here's the thing, you're never going to be ready. You are always going to have something in your way that you just have to go after it and do it. So I did it. It was so much fun. I've signed up to another event with my husband in April. We have got matching outfits. He's going to kill me. And I've signed up one with my sister in July. And I'm going to just do more. And I am back, folks. I am back. Because you know what? I think like for those of you that might be in your 40s and midlife and might have kids or even not, what I would say is sometimes you can feel like you lose yourself around this age. But really what you need to do is prioritize what you once loved. And for me, that was exercise, right? So there you go. Prioritize yourself, prioritize what you love. Don't have guilt if you're putting yourself first to do these things that you love, because you're going to be a better person. You're going to have more patience with your partner or your kids. You're going to be a better work colleague if you have that time to yourself. And by the way, you are worthy of this time. And you're going to manifest faster because your vibrational frequency will be higher when you're doing the things that you love. So we had a Manifest Movement community call with Jerry Hussey. Jerry Hussey is a soul coach, and he's an incredible speaker. He's got an event on April 12th. I'll be there. If you're in Dublin, Ireland, you should show up. But one of the things, let me just give you a little sense of what he was talking about on the call, because I'll just give you kind of some of the themes. He said, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest what you believe. Bingo. How many times have I used the word believe? It's all about that belief. And sometimes you have to create that belief in yourself by showing up, by showing up, by showing up. Secondly, what he was saying was you really have to surrender and let go fundamentally. That's what he was saying. Like hand it over. He calls it the divine. I say to the universe, you are co-creating. surrender and let go. However, probably where it's not we had it wasn't that we had a different opinion on this, but he approached manifestation in a different way. So effectively, I always say, like, you manifest what you want, you visualize it, you do the 7 steps, etc., 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 right? And I always say, you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are and how you're showing up in the world. And his point of view was more that once you become that person, you become that person of love, right? So that's the word he used a lot. That's when things start showing up for you. And it's really what I teach when I talk about you don't manifest what you want, you manifest who you are. So like he was saying, are you gossiping about people? Are you in conversations where there's gossip about people? Are you losing your temper with people? Are you getting annoyed at the little things? Are you treating people badly? Are you actually talking about people behind their back? That's not, he says, clean up all that mess. Are you judging people? Like recently I was in the gym and there was a guy in the gym and he was like ripped. I mean, his body was ripped. And he was working out and he was doing a fast-paced workout, which I really like. I'm really good at the HIIT style. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he's so slow. His stamina is so bad. And then I caught myself and I was like, hello, girl. Hello. You don't got to judge. Leave him alone. You don't know his story. You don't know what he's doing. Stop that judgmental shit. What do you think? You've just done a fitness competition and you know everything about fitness? Like, get out of his story and get back to yourself and focus on yourself, right? And one thing that I thought that Jerry talked about last night, which I think people will really, really appreciate when he was talking on the call, Jerry Hussey has been all over Ireland and the world. He's just back from Australia. He said he's doing an event in New York. He's got one in Dublin. He's sold out theaters. He's got bestseller books. His books have been, top of the charts, all of this, right? And he was saying that last year he had a bit of a dip where he just felt like things weren't going his way. And, he started to have this sense of anxiety and panic for a short period of time. And he said to his wife, he was like, hold on a second. When did I become this person? Change your thoughts, change your life. Like, this shit has got to stop. He was even talking about money. He was like, oh, we got to save more here now. We've got to pull back. We've got to rein it in. We've got to X, we've got Y, we've got a Z. And he's like, oh, hello. When did I become this person? But what I want people to understand and you to understand is that I have those moments as well. And hearing someone like Jerry Hussey say he has that moments just actually solidifies the fact that we are all human. We are not going to be high vibrational frequency all the time. We are not going to be manifesting every single thing that we want all of the time. We are going to have blips of this feeling of doubt. We are going to have those moments. But the key thing is pulling ourselves out of them quite quickly. That is what is key. You learn to pull yourself out of them quite quickly when you are doing the work and you're showing up. So getting back to the topic of this podcast, which is you are doing everything, you're showing up, you're practicing your gratitude, you're saying your affirmations, you are going to the gym, you're raising your vibrational frequency, you're doing everything and it's still not working out for you. And for those of you that are not doing that, you're it's not working for me, but I'm actually not taking action. I'm not working on myself. I'm not doing any gratefuls. I'm not a high vibrational frequency. I am complaining. Well, then you got to start with doing the work, right? You cannot bypass the work and just say, universe, send me this, that, and the other. That's not the way it works. Like this isn't magic. This is manifestation. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, you are creating your reality. You got to show up and you got to take action consistently. So if you're not doing that work, start there. Start doing the work. Start working on yourself. But if you are doing the work, right? You are doing the work and you feel like it's still not happening for you. Here are a couple of concepts that I think you can think about, right? And this one is what you're not changing, you're choosing. What decision do you have to make in your life that you are putting off? Ask yourself that question. Like, is there a decision that you need to make that you are putting off? And that decision might be, I've got to find a new job. I've got to end this relationship because it's really not working. I have got to move country because I'm just this. I know that this is not where I'm meant to be. I intuitively know this. I've got to end this friendship because they are not supportive. I always feel shitty when I'm around them. I think that what you're not changing, you are choosing. So if you're showing up every single day and doing the same things over and over again, you're just going to get the same results over and over and over again, right? So what you're not changing, you're choosing. If you're not getting your ass out of bed to go to the gym, you're not choosing to be fit. The end. So what are these decisions that you need to make in your life to change it up? Because maybe your dream life is on the other side of that hard decision. You know? And I know these decisions can be hard. And a lot of the time people don't want to make the decisions because they're afraid. But what's worse? Living in that life for the rest of your days because you were too afraid to make that choice. You were too afraid to leave. You were too afraid to cut off the relationship. You were too afraid to give up your job and go all in on yourself. So make the decision. Think about that. That's number one. Number two, change your thoughts, change your life. You're creating your reality. A lot of people say, oh, I need to manifest. You are manifesting. When you wake up until you go to bed, you are manifesting because your thoughts and what you're putting out in the world is creating your reality. So if you are listening to this and you do not like your current reality, change your thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your life. It is that simple. Start slowly. Next one, a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. I say, a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles and manifestation and money. It all starts with gratitude. How do you change your thoughts, change your life? We'll start with gratitude. There's so many things that you can be grateful for. We're doing the magic in the Manifest Movement community at the moment. And before we started the magic, I knew that you had to do 10 gratefuls a day because I actually did this with my husband in South Africa one year. And I was thinking to myself, shit, 10 is going to be hard because I actually just do one grateful a day. 10 is going to be hard. And now that I'm sitting down and I'm doing it with the community every day, I find 10 so easy. It's so easy. And the way I do it is I sit down and I think about the day before. From morning to evening, I go through my entire day and I think about all the things I was grateful for in that day. For example, tomorrow morning when I wake up, I know I'll be saying, I'm grateful that I got to bring the twins to school this morning. I'm grateful that I got to walk to the podcast studio and it didn't absolutely pour rain on me. I'm grateful for the podcast studio because I love doing podcasts. Like, just think about your day. I'm grateful I'm going into Brown Thomas for something, a little something from a big beauty brand. So I'm grateful for that, right? So a grateful heart is a magnet for miracles and manifestation, right? So What you're not changing, you're choosing. Change your thoughts, change your life. A grateful heart is a magnet for manifestation and miracles. And the last one really is just remember, everything always works out for you. And I want to caveat this, right? Everything always works out for the person that's showing up and doing the work. If you're not showing up and doing the work consistently, and you are constantly complaining, you're negative, you're low vibes, you're sitting in that same shitty story, you're telling that same shitty story of the ex who hurt you, of the co-parent who does nothing and you do everything, of the co-worker who's so annoying. You're telling yourself these stories all the time that you're so busy, you have no time for anything, yada yada yada. Well, does everything always work out for you? I'm not so sure. Because you're not going to see it when it comes. You're not going to grasp the opportunity when it comes. You're not going to notice all the good things in your life. And finally, trust the timing of your life. Sometimes that last missing puzzle piece to what you're manifesting in your life is all down to timing. You are co-creating with the universe, right? And maybe, and we know this, I know this, that the universe knows what's best for you, right? Call it the universe, God, angels, your higher self. It knows. So the timeline just might be that if you're manifesting a soulmate, that soulmate's not ready because they're in a relationship. That needs to end first before they come into your life. It knows that, I don't know, maybe this wasn't the job for you because you're meant to work in a different industry that is going to totally change your life. So trusting the timing of your life. If I've learned anything about manifesting over the years, when I look back, I was actually asked by my yoga teacher yesterday, Roberto from Italy. God, he's incredible. I absolutely love him. He just has such a beautiful soul. He said to me, "What is one of your biggest regrets?" And one of my biggest regrets is that I spent so much time wanting a baby that I wasn't living. I was newly married. I should have been in this bubble of bliss, but I was under a dark cloud. I wasted so many years under this dark cloud, so many great years of my life. I was in my early 30s. I wish I knew to trust. I wish I knew that everything would work out for me. I wish I knew that it was all going to work out even better than I had expected. Like, hello, there was not 4 kids on my bingo card, okay? I never, ever said I wanted 4 kids, ever. So when I look back, and I don't want you to make the same mistakes as me, I promise you this: if you show up, if you stay consistent, if you keep putting in the work, if you work on yourself, if you be your authentic self, if you remove the shitty sides of you, and we all have them. I always say I'm not judgmental, but hey, I made some shady remarks the other day about a guy with no stamina in the gym. That's shady and it's shitty. Call yourself out. I call myself out, right? Remove those pieces from you. Be the person that already has it. And I promise you, everything will work out for you, and it'll work out even better than you could have expected. Guaranteed. But like I said, there's only one rule. And you have to be consistent and show up and do the work and stop making excuses as to why you're not doing it. Because excuses never manifested anything. So let's go. By the way, We have, and by the time this comes out, there'll be even less. I think we've 35 spots left on our April money challenge. Universe, show us the money, and our May, I believe in myself, self-worth, self-belief, confidence. So if you want to join us, get on that, right? Get on it. And anybody going to Jerry Hussey on April 12th, send me a message. I'd love to see you there. Because I am going. I need to manifest a babysitter on a Sunday because we have a lot going on most Sundays. So see ya. Until next time.